Alright, I'm working on a project. We need to cut a whole bunch of lengths of this 1/8 inch by 3/4 inch steel. Maybe dozens of small sections of this. So I tried the good old hacksaw. That works. Takes forever. Then I tried the cutoff wheel in my chop saw. That sort of worked. It was very messy, loud, not that accurate. I had the most luck using my Sawzall with a metal cutting blade, but it takes a lot of setup in the vise. You got to clean up the ends and everything. So my solution is to get one of these Evolution cutoff saws. Apparently they're from England, made in Great Britain. And they have a 7 1/4 inch blade. It's specifically designed to cut metal. So the goal of this video and the videos I'm going to follow with is setting up the Evolution and setting up some kind of a system where I can cut the repeatable lengths of this steel over and over again accurately with very little cleanup afterwards. That's my goal. So we'll see how it turns out. First thing is get this thing out of the box and see what's in it. Alright, here's what's in the box. We got the instruction manual and warranty. Give you some safety goggles, that's nice. Earplugs. Here's some tools. And it's like a couple pieces that maybe need to be assembled on the saw. This is the Evolution Rage 4. So it's got motors on this side. Here's the plug. It's got an interesting way to hold the motor in place. It has a little chain on a hook. That's a simple solution, but I haven't seen that lately. So it's got a, it's kind of like it's in the way. It's got a rotating wheel here to clamp the work in. It's already getting in the way. Okay, so part of our project is, remember, we want to cut this steel off. We want to cut it over and over again at a certain length. So on my chop saw, the fence keeps going on this side. I can set up a stop block here. So I can push the material I'm cutting up against it and cut the same length over and over again. So this doesn't really have anything set up here for extending this fence. This is where the cut happens. So I'm going to have to build something probably out of wood that extends this fence out, and then something you can attach a stop block to, so you can push the material up against it and then chop it off repeatedly to the same length. So that's going to be the main part of the project. All right, well, we'll set it up and cut some steel just by measuring it, and then we'll go ahead and put together some kind of a stand with an extended fence and a stop block, so we can cut lengths, the same length over and over again. Alright, here's the stuff that was in that bag. So we got some Allen wrenches. If we're cutting wood, we want to put this dust extraction part. We're cutting metal, so we're not going to use this. This is a speed handle that attaches to the jaws. I'll show you that in a second. Here's a rubber bumper for the jaws. I think I'll probably use that. It might adjust for any imperfections in the metal when I'm holding it. And some spare motor brushes. That's not encouraging. If someone sells you a motor and gives you spare motor brushes, that means that they're not going to last very long. So that's not too happy about that, but I guess that's it. All right, here's the handle that clamps the material in the jaws of the cutter. And here's the speed handle that came with in that plastic bag. So that there's a threaded hole on one of these sections of the handle, and you just screw it in. Then you can turn it a lot faster. Now here's the clamp the vise that holds the work material. It's got these two holes there. There's that rubber bumper that fits in there. Just fit it in. Press it in. Doesn't want to press. This has a little lip on it, so you have to really press hard. I'll have to get my vice grips out or something. Alright, this thing proved almost impossible to get on, so I'm going to actually take this off so I can work on it straight on, because it has this little protruding edge on the rubber that goes through this hole. So you got to push it through, and since it's up against the bottom, you can't really push it through from all sides. Well, it's still on the machine. So I'm going to unscrew this over here, take this off, and then install it that way. The screws are really in there. I think it's got a lock nut or something. Now this is in high precision here, so I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, it's got a lock. It's got a spring washer and a regular washer. Okay, the chain came off. That's all right. Alright, so it's got to get out of here. So okay, it came out. So it's got a little washer to ride in this slot here. It's got a hole for a cutout. So the trick is to get these bumpers in here. So let's see if we can do it. Got my little screwdriver here. See if I can push it through. Both sides through. And it came out again. Okay, figures. Well, I'll work on this some more, and when I get it in there, I'll show it to you. Alright, so we need to put the washer down in this hole so it catches and slides easily. Then we've got to catch the end of the chain underneath this block. So looks like it just goes in here like this. It's kind of primitive, but make sure the chain is captured. Put this lock down. I can screw it back in. Alright, so the chain still works to hold this down, so that's good. And this turns easily, so we can capture our material here. Let's try to cut something, to see how it does. Alright, we got to set up outside to cut, and here's my safety equipment. Safety glasses. I like to use these instead of those earplugs. Let's put those on. Now, setting this cut up, so I've got the material. I've got the material in the saw vertically. That's the key. You want to cut flat stock vertically. And so it's a little bit hard to see where it's going to actually cut, because when you just pull it down, this housing is still in the way. So I had to tip it up like this. Then I could see where I was going to cut. So that was okay, but not the greatest. So again, my goal is to put a fence here and have a stop block so I can cut this same length over and over again without having to do a lot of setup. All right, let's give it a shot. That was quick. I did get a shard of a chip of metal hit me in the neck, which is kind of annoying, but I have to wear some, like a neck gaiter or something. But it made a nice clean cut. Let's see. Yeah. So, quick shot on the file, or the which is this side down. So it actually left a little burr here, so I'll have to get that off. But I'll have my grinder wheel with the wire brush. That should clean it up really quickly. So, but that's a pretty good cut. Not completely without problems, but it's going to be a lot quicker than any other methods I have so far. So I think we're going to go with this. So as soon as I set up the fence and the stop block, I'll continue this video. Alright, so for the lengths I'm cutting, I don't really need that long of a fence, so this is plenty of length there. So I'll just use this project board. It's solid wood with thin veneer plywood on either side. And there's 4 rubber feet. So we'll unscrew those, then we'll use those same holes to screw in to this board to fix it. Then we'll set up a fence here using wood and probably some biscuits to make it strong. And then we'll have a place to have a stop block on. So here are the rubber feet. I already moved one down in this corner. So I'll remove this one up here. Just unscrew it. Could use a screwdriver, but it just unscrews from the bottom. So. I'll have to unscrew that. So this one that comes out, this one is attached to this little bracket, so I'm not going to want to mess with that. So I'll just unscrew this one from the bottom over here and just leave the bolt sticking out. That shouldn't be a problem. But I'm going to need these other 3 holes. I'm just going to have 3 screws screwing it into the wood. That should be strong enough to keep it in place. So I don't really have to worry about this one.